Hello, good afternoon. How are you? What is going on? Hello, how are you? How you feeling? We want to catch up on news, okay? The latest immigration news. Hi, Zach Gando. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. How are you? How you feeling this lovely Sunday? Long time, yeah, long time. I've been taking my vacation. I had to take a break from this administration, giving me a lot of headaches. So I had to take a break, okay? I'm back now. Good and true spoken. Long time, long time. Any news about the dignity, please? Yeah, that's everything we want to know, right? Today we have to know everything about everything, okay? I'm good and tuned from Spokane, Washington State, okay? Oh, spoken. Lucy, how are you? We miss you. Bring us good news. Oh, there's one good news. One good news. What I've noticed since I'm back, because I came back on the 21st. I've been trying to being caught up with my cases. I've noticed that DHS is reopening some cases on their own. So we receive notice to appear for people who have previously ordered removed. And I think, in my personal opinion, it's a good news because those people have been trying to reopen their case so they can terminate removal proceedings and adjust status. Now that DHS issued a new notice to appear, technically now we can move to terminate removal proceeding because they already have I-130 approved so that they can adjust status. That could be a good news. On the other side, if DHS basically the reason they are reopening is to give due process, right? Because which they don't have to do, but they did, which simply means that this is a good faith type of notice, and we have to present ourselves and try to argue so that the judge can terminate removal proceeding, so that this person can adjust status because they have I-130 approved from a long time ago, and they've been trying to beg ICE to reopen the case, and ICE never did. Now that they reopen on their own, we feel like it's a good news. By the way, please like, please share. Since we want to catch up on a lot of things, I'm going to be here for a while, like almost 1 hour type of talk. Please like, please share. Hello, how are you? I'm good. How are you, Gerta Labadi? You good? Will it be safe traveling to Kenya in December for 6 weeks? I have a green card. Um, it's safe for people who do not have first of all, you have to know how you got your green card. If you got your green card through marriage, that's good. If you got your green card to asylum, then you have to know which country you claim persecution, then you cannot go back to that country. If you got your green card to marriage or something else, then you should be good. And if you don't have criminal records, you should be good. And you don't have removal proceedings, you should be good, right? So I don't see that there's a problem with that. Okay. You just have to check your part about your criminal record and see you got to your son. Okay. So yeah, that's if you don't have criminal record, you shouldn't be worrying about it. Okay. If you don't have criminal record, you shouldn't be worrying about that. People who are worrying about the traveling part is because they have criminal records. Okay. Um, yeah, let's start with what's going on. Okay, we already talked. I already got with the first good news, right? I already talked about it. Now we want to talk about the Dignity Act. Dignity Act. Okay, what's going on with the Dignity Act? Update. Let's see. So it's an immigration reform talking about. Let's see. They have the summary here, right? But I don't think it has already passed the. I don't think it has already passed like the probably passed the House, but the Senate, no, it's still pending. So the Dignity Act in the U.S. House of Representatives on July, okay, it was introduced on July 15, 2025 as a bipartisan effort, okay, to strengthen the border security in the United States, provided undocumented individuals an opportunity to obtain legal status if they've met certain requirements. Almost like the one that the Biden wanted to do, but then they failed to do it almost. So what there are three section, like three main section in the bill: border security, asylum reform. Talking about asylum, we already know that the fees for asylum is already effective. Okay, if you're filing an appeal at the BIA level for your asylum claim, the fees are almost $900. You have to know the correct fees, otherwise the case will be rejected and you might miss your deadline. So it's already the fees are already effective. Even for renewing the work permit, the fees are already effective when it comes to asylum. Um, and when it comes to adjustment of status in court, the fees are really higher, almost 3,000, I believe. So you have to know that the fees thing it's effective. If you want to, you have to double check. If you're trying to file something, you really have to double check. Okay. And mandatory e-verify. Dream Act. Dream Act is for DACA recipient. I guess they want to be done with DACA, like find a solution once and for all. And then we have American Family United Act, Fairness for Legal Immigrants, Employment and Student Visa. When it comes to okay, uh, they want to be vetting for asylum and give us the response like just like that on the spot. And that's what is happening when it comes to asylum. If you apply today, just know that they're gonna call you within 30 days. They have to call you because they want to be done with those asylum, not the one that are pending, that's fine, but the one that people are applying currently, they're gonna call you fast. Let me see what about DNA test for family relationship. DACA. Okay, Dreamer and DACA recipient will be eligible for a conditional permanent resident status valid up to 10 years. That will protect them from deportation, allow them to work legally, and permit to travel outside. Okay. To qualify for that, the person has to be living in the United States since January 1st, 2021. That's for legal. Dignity program for undocumented. That's for, in general, for undocumented people. The bill establishes a 7-year deferred action program that will grant employment and travel authorization to undocumented residents who have been continuously living since December 31st, 2020. That's the cutoff date, December 31st, 2020. Okay. basically what they will do is they will give a deferred action program, employment authorization, and travel, like the right to travel outside. If it becomes law, that's fine, you know. I really want that to become, but that's like a contradiction. In one way, they're sending a lot of people to uh, in removal proceedings. In one way, they're trying to come up with this spouses and children of U.S. citizens on a case-to-case basis to maintain family unity, uh, in which individual does not have lawful status but a spouse of a child is the spouse or a child of a U.S. citizen. In those cases, they can waive inadmissibility issue, just like the program that Biden wanted to do, declined to issue a notice to appear, and declined to reinstate a removal orders if the person has been order removed, but they happen to be married to a U.S. citizen or they have U.S. citizen children, then they can choose, you know, on a case-to-case basis, be able to adjust status. Yeah, so it's a good bill. So the status of it, let's just open it here and see the status of it. I just went to the Congressman Maria website to look at it. Yeah, it was introduced. That's it. This is the one page. Let me just show you what I saw on the Congressman website so that you can. Okay, this is a one pager. It was introduced. That's it, right? Nothing has passed yet. Rumors. That's just what I said, right? If you don't have a criminal record, you should be worrying about it. Okay. Welcome back. Thank you. Let me see. Can I? Let me see if. Okay. USCIS account saying your case decision will be made within 25 months. How is it true? When it comes to USCIS, trust me, you just have to call them. Okay. I'm trying to put some light here. Lightning. When it comes to USCIS, just call them because they be saying something on their website, and the way they're acting is just like unheard of. What is an update on dignity? There's no update. The bill was introduced, that's it, on July 15th. There's no update. I'm looking here online. I don't see any update. I didn't see any updates. Let me just share my screen to see what's on the bill, right? So you know, in case. Share screen. So that you know, in case this is the one page I got it from Representative Maria Eliva from Florida. So that's where I got it from. Basically summarizing what's in the bill. The Dignity Act secures the border, implements enforcement, fixes our asylum system, provide dignity to long-term immigrants, support American workers, and improve our legal immigration system. Okay. The first thing is border security. Second, interior enforcement. They're going to implement a nationwide mandatory e-verify, increase penalty for illegal border crossers, penalty for child sex traffickers, requiring DNA test for family verification, you claim that is your child, they're going to do the DNA test. Okay. And catch and release. Catch and release simply means the people who come to the border, they're not going to release them. They have to process their asylum on the spot, like expedite. Build humanitarian campuses near the southern to process asylum seekers in federal custody. So basically, the person will be detained when they're processing. Remember, arriving alien, they are not going to be released anymore because they don't, first of all, have the right to bond, but ICE usually release people on parole. They're not going to do that. So basically, that's what they're claiming. What else? Expedite asylum processing, determination within 60 days. Yeah. Increases penalty for asylum fraud. And then the dignity program, that will be a 7-year temporary legal status for undocumented immigrants that have been here for 5 years or more since before 2021. Okay, sometime in 2020. Been here for 7 years or more. Cutoff date is in 2020. Then gonna have a temporary protected status. Past criminal background check, the person has to pay $7,000 in restitution over 7 years. Like, you're gonna make a payment plan and pay the government $7,000. No federal benefit or entitlement, no path to citizenship. Yeah, the person is not gonna have a citizenship, but they're gonna have a temporary protected status, 7-year legal status, like a kind of like a TPS. Once the 7 years probation time is over, then the person can continue to live, but there's no path to citizenship. Oh, that's what I was saying. But that's at least better than just to stay without getting out, because if the person has the ability to move around, to go and come back, that's what people want, because they have to, meet with their family, do things outside, come back. So just like a regular people. But as far as updates, there's no updates. To be honest, there's no update. The bill was introduced, that's it. I don't see any updates. Veronica Villega, hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, how are you? Long time no see. How are you? So Zach Gando, yes, they asked for 90 days for the second time to be allowed. When Congress contact them, they say the case is on extended review. Is that a good sign? What case is that? I mean, I don't think it's a bad sign, because USCIS, they're just like, sometimes they have a lot of cases and they're just processing cases. Not to mention, we had a case that was approved. It says that the green card was produced on July 10, but when we actually received the green card, you can see on my IG, I was talking about it. It appeared to me that the green card was already produced on March 10, but they keep saying July 10. So sometimes they just have a lot of cases. 400. Oh, that's kind of like a bad sign for a nationality, and then 300 days after, that's a bad sign. Yeah, that's not a good sign. But sometimes there's always exception. It can just be like they just have a lot of cases, but I doubt it, because when it comes to U.S. citizenship, if they're taking too long to respond, it's because they're trying to draft a denial, like a reason, a strong reasoning as to why they're denying, because they know you might sue them. They have to be covered by arguments. So they're trying to draft a strong response. That's why it takes them too long. Yeah. So I don't think it's a good sign. Do you have criminal record? The person has criminal record. If the person have criminal record, I don't think it's a good sign. Yeah, I don't think it's a good sign. Okay. Yeah, that's not a good sign. What else I wanted to talk about? Yeah, I want to answer one question I saw here on my channel. It's really relevant. I really want to answer it because a lot of people might benefit from it. Let me find it. Let's see if I can find it. I usually saw it on my. Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to answer this question live because it's a very good question. If I can't find it, I'll make a video about it. Yeah, yeah, I'll try to make a video about it because I don't see how to find it here. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I think I'll make a video about it. It looks like you. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it here. Trying to see if I can find it. It has a good question though. I don't see it. Hmm. Okay, I found it. Okay, let me share my screen. Thanks, you're welcome. Let me share. Oh my gosh, my lightning is really bad. Let me close my window so I can have good lightning. Give me one moment. Yeah, I think now we can. Yes, now we have good lightning. Now we can. Everybody can see me. I can see you. Now it's good lightning. The other one was not good. Okay, so let me answer this question for this person who started. They ask a long question, but I'm gonna answer it. I want to share the screen. It's a very good question. Okay, close. This is the question. Okay. Hello, a couple of questions. You mentioned that the case was like a 204C bar. Did the USCIS say it's a 24C bar and can be used to waive a 24C bar? No, it wasn't a 204C bar because what they claimed, they didn't use the language that what they claimed. They said that this person um, was trying to get benefit under the immigration law because the marriage in question was not a valid marriage, and they had a lot of details that's not a valid marriage. But we had a counter argument. We had a strong counter argument, and we presented that, and they asked for waiver of misrepresentation. And they turn it into a misrepresentation, not fraud, but misrepresentation, because the statement was contradicting itself. So, and we were able to basically defend it and waive. So the simple answer is here is that USCIS did not use the sorry, the 204C bar. You can, how can I fight the charge? You can fight charges with affidavit and legal argument. Legal argument. So basically, this person is trying to understand fraud. Okay. I was talking about USCIS making accusation about marriage, and I was talking about if they're making accusation about the marriage, that the marriage is fraudulent, that the marriage is this, is marriage is that, they cannot make a determination of a bar, a 204C bar, if they don't show you substantive and probative evidence. They have to have a lot of evidence, okay? If they don't show you that, you have to fight. You have to fight. You have to fight. If you don't fight, it just stays like that. Okay? So, hey, man. Thank you. You're welcome. How are you? How are you feeling? We're trying to catch up with all the news. I even haven't even started with news yet, but we're trying to catch up with news. We first were talking about the Dignity Act. There's no updates. It's just it was introduced. That's it. That's just that. Let's see how it goes. But the biggest news is that the fee increase is now effective. When it comes to asylum or appeal for asylum, you have to pay the appropriate fees. If you don't pay the fees, the case is going to be rejected. So that's the main news. And the second news is that arriving alien do not have a right to bond, and ICE is sending a lot of people to removal with no right to a bond hearing. So that's what we have right here. And I want to see, and the birthright citizenship, the birthright citizenship lawsuit, it has been blocked. Let me put this one. That's the latest news, right? Okay. So let me share this one. Okay. This is about the birthright citizenship. The ruling from U.S. Court of Appeal for the Ninth Circuit bring the White House theory closer to a full Supreme Court review. Okay. So what's going on is that there's an injunction going on preventing the Trump administration from enforcing their executive order on birthright citizenship. That's just the summary. So basically, let's say somebody give birth today from undocumented immigrant, that person can still be a U.S. citizen because everything is on hold now. Okay. The Federal Court of Appeal ruled on Wednesday that the President Trump executive order restricting birthright citizenship violated the Constitution, affirming a district court nationwide injunction, bringing the issue one step closer to a constitutional review by the Supreme Court. So basically, again, everything is on hold. If somebody gives birth today and the child happened to be born from undocumented parent, that child, as of today, is a U.S. citizen because everything is on hold. The Trump administration cannot enforce it because there's an injunction, first of all, nationwide, and even the appeal court basically sustained that injunction. In other words, everything is on hold until further review. So that's a good news, at least for now. You see. Yeah, so the ruling appeared to be the first time that an appellate court has ruled on birth citizenship after the Supreme Court decision, limiting the scope of injunctions and lawyers scrambling to recast their claim in light of its new standard. Okay. Yeah, the appeal. Yeah, basically. Okay. So, in other words, there's an injunction nationwide, and the the courts of appeal upheld that. So, we're good for now. That's the conclusion. That's just what you need to know. That's the conclusion, at least for now. Okay. So, I don't see anything. I want to see from where I left off if there's another news. Yeah, if you have a question, just please put it in the comments. We don't have the major news. I already talked about those. Um, and some news we talked about it prior for me taking my vacation. So I don't see. Let me see here if I can see anything else. Might see something on USCIS website. I don't know. Let's see if there's anything on USCIS website. The Trump policy update. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Hello, how are you? I am Anasali and I finished my clinical interview, but it's been 2 weeks, no answer. Is that normal? Yes, it's normal. It's normal. You can just call them and find out why you haven't received any response yet. Um, yeah, you can just call them. They actually have 120 days to respond after an interview for naturalization cases. When it comes to green card, they have actually 6 months before they give you a response. But you can always call them, and find out why the response is taking too long. Let me share my screen here and see what we have here as news. Okay. DHS to publish the rule for, okay. DHS plan to use military bases in New Jersey and Indiana to detain immigrants. So they're trying to use the military bases as a detention center because maybe they're out of detention center in Indiana and New Jersey. Uh, the Department of Justice asked California sheriffs for names, crime of conviction, arrest, and release date of non-citizen prisoners. This is just for deportation purposes. Immigration judges allow ICE attorneys not to identify themselves in immigration courts. Wow, this is interesting. Excluding additional federal benefits. Undocumented immigrants are excluded from other federal benefits. Immigration agent demands tenant information from landlord. They are trying to call the landlord to find out if you live there. This is bad. Okay, so that's about it here. Um, Let me see on USCIS if we have something on USCIS. Thanks a lot as well. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see on USCIS if we have anything here on USCIS. USCIS report significant abuses in special immigrant juvenile program. We have a new service director at USCIS. U visa fraud. Some people were getting fraud. When it comes to fraud nowadays, they are investigating a lot. Just this is just something, don't be involved in those sham marriage, fraudulent visas, a U visa, because once they investigate, you go to jail, you go to prison. A Brazilian national in Massachusetts sentenced for unlawful reentry and selling green cards and counterfeit social security. Those are fake green cards. USCIS is in arrest of one El Salvador hiding in Nebraska. Yeah, let's talk about those fees. DHS terminated TPS for Nicaragua. It was never meant to last for 25 years. They terminated for Nicaragua. They terminated for Honduras. DH terminates TPS for Haiti. All those other TPS has already been terminated, right? We already know that. I want to talk about those fees because I want to know what are the fees. The fees, so that you know the fees. They will collect new fees, so they will provide detail on implemented fee changes in the coming days. Okay, but anyway, we have new fees. You have to make sure you know the correct fees before you send an application, because if you just send an application without knowing the correct fees, yeah, that's not good. The application is going to be rejected, basically. Let's see. Is a not guilty arrest for loitering of narcotic can considered inadmissible for criminal cases. Criminal cases, not guilty. I mean, if it's not guilty, then it's not guilty. I don't think I don't think so, because the person has been fined. They went to court. It's not guilty. So basically, the charges are dropped if you're not guilty. So you're charged, but you're not guilty. But when it comes to an application, you have to disclose that, like, I was charged for this, but I wasn't convicted. Basically, I was found not guilty. You have to explain, because you cannot withhold those information. The moment you withhold those information, that's where the problem starts. So, okay. What else we have here? I'm trying to wrap up. Trying to wrap up here. I guess we cover pretty much everything. If something else comes up next week, since I'm back, I might, I'll do those live sessions, and I'll update on small videos as well. So if you have concern, stuff like that, you just, we can always schedule a consultation. But if not, then we're always going to be updating on a lot of things. As we hear things, we're gonna update you. Please like, please share. Please like, please share. If we don't have anything else, this is it for today. I posted a small video on TikTok. I'm gonna do short video because I have hearings. I have ICE checking in with ICE. I have interviews for green cards pending. So I'm gonna be doing small videos, short videos on TikTok and post them on my IG. You're welcome to follow me on TikTok, IG, and YouTube, of course. This is our main place. I'm still gonna update you until next time. Okay. Until next time. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Until next time. Bye bye.